Hey guys, Kimberzelik here. It's been a while since I've done anything meaningful. I started off, let's see, probably 2019, I think. I started off with the Harbor Freight mini lathe. And let's get that out of the picture and get that out of the picture. And this thing truly is tiny. I can completely cover up the tool post, with my hand. It's truly tiny. Okay. And I had a drill press and got interested in this stuff. Almost bought a larger lathe, and another YouTube channel contacted me with the lead on this Pratt & Whitney. It came painted blue. Even the wheels were painted blue. Had some powered cross slide issues. Had some auto feed issues on threading high torque situations. But those all seemed to be resolved, and it turned gray, and I got a new live center for Father's Day, and that came from Shars. And I want to just for my own satisfaction, I want to do some multi-start threads. Now, here's a set of threads that I've done. And this is 14 threads per inch. There's roughly an inch left on this. These are left-handed threads. So it should only take 7 turns to take this off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that traveled 1 inch with 7 turns. And if we take our thread gauge here, it's 14 threads per inch. So there's obviously 2 starts on that. So today's video, I want to do that again. So we will chuck up the same piece of steel. I think this was called low carbon steel when I bought it. So we'll get things chucked up and dialed in and see what we need to do to make multi-start threads. And if I didn't explain that enough, I think the explanation will come in the doing. Basically, the nut will screw on twice as fast because there's 2. Now this piece here has 4 starts. Now I don't have a nut for this. Maybe that's what I should be doing, is making a nut for this. I don't know how many threads per inch this was. This was 14 threads per inch as well. So that's enough of that. I also got a 3D printer for Father's Day. Really cool. As soon as I get a spot cleaned up, we're going to set that baby up. Okay, we're dialed in. An acceptable number for me. So let's go ahead and get our tool height set on our threading tool. So I guess My tool height is already acceptable. Do not crank, do not give this very much force when you're doing this, just enough to hold it. And keep it perpendicular. And it's not too great of a diameter. You're probably pretty close to being where you need to be. Okay, so let's take that tool out. And we want to put a nice chamfer on the lead there. Okay, so we will go ahead and get that taken care of. Am I hanging out a little too much? I think we better get some support on that. That's sticking out. That is sticking out. It is a see what the diameter is here. Oh, it's 7/8 or so. It's almost 3.5 inches. So we're gonna put we're gonna drill a center in here and use our new live center on this. So let's back this tool out. So because of the dressing I had to do to this Morse taper number 3 taper, this taper, I mean, I can just use this. It's a little short. This one was a little long, but I needed to add this ejection pin. So we got to come all the way out to here to get that to engage. But it's engaging very high up on the taper. And we will bring this up and center drill that. Where's that picture going to be taken from? Okay, let's take this up. Lock our tailstock. Give a little love on here, a little red love. And let's do 314 RPMs. We need to get a sharper center drill. I think that'll do it. I'm sure that new center is pretty sharp point on it. You don't want a bottom that shouldn't. And let's get the tool out. Okay, I think we got clearance Got clearance all the way around. So let's go ahead and do a little chamfer on that. It's right there. You'll be able to see that from here. Yeah, I believe so. That's quite a chamfer, I think. Okay, I got 10,000 installed in on the compound. And we're going to start with our first cut. We're going to start on the thread dial on 1, and then we're going to take the tool back and take the second thread. We're going to start with A. And we're 190 RPMs. One. And the next one's going to be a letter A. Going to feed it in 10 thousandths, and we'll start it on 1. Leave the feed the same, start it on a letter B. Feed it in 10 thousandths. We'll start on a number 1. And we're going to start it on a letter A. Going to feed it in 20 thousandths. Start it on a number 1. The next one, we're going to keep it the same. We're going to start on a letter A. Then really rinse and repeat. Do 10 thousandths. Start on 1. Leave it the same, start on A. Advance another 10 thousandths, start it on 1. Started on A. Put some oil on it for a change. Gonna do a spring pass on 1. I'm gonna actually use 3. And I'm gonna do a spring pass on a letter. C. Let's take a look at what we got. We're starting to form a thread there. I'm going to feed in 10 thousandths, 15 thousandths. We're starting on 1. Back it off. Same feed. On a letter this time. Happened to be B this time. Going to feed in 10 thousandths. I'm gonna start on 1, I guess. Now we're going to start on A. I'm going to do a spring pass on 1. Happened to be 3 this time. Now we'll do a spring pass on a letter. C. Beginning to see a nice form. We'll do a spring pass on number 1. Oh, that's not a spring pass. On 4. Now we'll do a spring pass on a letter, D. We'll do 5 thousandths on 1. Same setting on an alphabet letter, A. Get my thread gauge. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. I got full depth. Matches this gauge anyway, and we have 2 start thread. Now we're gonna have to do the nut. After I want to hit this with a file, knock down some of the sharp edges a little bit, and that's multi-start thread. What I was doing there is I was starting 1 thread on a number and starting the twin thread on a letter. And you notice in the very first threads, the number thread was broad, twice what it should be, so that there would be room for the opposing thread. I'm not sure if that explains anything or not. Let me clean this up a little bit and we'll look at it. Well, I kind of get this thing in neutral. I kind of went over it and dressed it up with this triangle file. There's one start here. And there's the other start here. There's one start here. I'm going to swing that down. And here's the other start here. I might try to color. It'll give it a little contrast. But next is the nut. Well, quite frankly, that was kind of like stepping into a nice broken in and worn pair of Super Berkeys with the jute and cork footbed, not Crocs, Birkenstock. You get it? Call them Crocs and you must unsubscribe from the channel. They are not Crocs. These are shoes. They're not rubber slippers or anything weird like that. That's going to destroy your feet. This is like walking barefoot on rubber and burlap and cork and no. I've neglected this machine for too long. It's felt really good getting in there and turning some two-start threads, and there was no retakes, no do-overs. It just all fell in place. And special thanks to my daughter and her husband, Vince Pryor, Emma and Vince Pryor, and their daughter, Maya. They really came through for me this year. Gave me a wonderful Father's Day present. Helped me out of a little spot I was in, and forever grateful for family. I'm looking at my computer screen, thinking, what? Is that my daughter's house? Is that? It's, it looks a lot like what we're doing at her house, but that's actually, Steve Summers.
So right in this area, what I'm doing is using one of these shim air. It's just a hand-powered.
I got one. Harbor Freight.
300-pound capacity. What is that? 136 kilos. So pretty neat. 14 bucks. This is.
Yep, I got one of those. The auto parts store won't sell them anymore because they're perceived as break-in tools for breaking into automobiles. Guys, we'll be back real soon, I think, with a part 2 of this multi-start threads and making a nut to fit whatever diameter that happens to be. So till then, like and subscribe, tell a buddy, bring a friend. Let's try it this way. Like and subscribe, tell a buddy, bring a friend. It doesn't cost you anything. All right, thanks Vince, thanks Emma. Hi Maya.
They sell cheaper versions of this. This is the one I've got, and I just stick it in the gap there, and you can watch it rise. And that gives me just a little extra working room.
Lifting the